Aries risings, the last 7 years reached into something very fundamental for you, the interior story about what you're actually worth, what you actually deserve in this world, and whether good things are really for you. That story got completely rebuilt over the last 7 years. Uranus left Taurus and entered Gemini April 25th, 2026. So for Aries risings, that meant it moved from your second house into your third house. The last 7 years built what you believe you're worth, and the next 7 years are going to make it absolutely impossible to silence yourself. The second house for Aries rising is in Taurus, so the second house is all about money, resources, what you actually build in this world, and your self-worth. But the last one is the most significant. It is the story that you tell about yourself, about whether you're good or worthy enough to have good things in this world. For Aries risings, the second house is ruled by Taurus. Venus is domicile, her strongest sign, which means Aries rising's relationship to self-worth has always carried a deep Venetian quality to it, a connection to beauty and to pleasure, to the belief that life is just like totally fully worth enjoying to the fullest. Underneath all of that Mars ruled kind of forward chart that you all have, there's a second house that really wants to be held as well. When Uranus moved into that house in 2018, it was really electrifying Venus's home. The disruption went beyond the finances, though I think many Aries risings had some sort of financial disruption. It went straight to the story itself, into what you believe you deserve, into the places where you've been either undercharging or undervaluing, leaving the bigger truth about what you're worth kind of unspoken. So the story of worth changed, and it took the rest of it with it, what you value and what you're willing to accept in this life. That work is now done. Uranus is finished with the worth, and what gets to happen next is all about your voice. So Uranus is moving into the third house. The third house for Aries risings is in Gemini. So the third house is the mind, how you process information, how you communicate, how your voice moves through kind of your immediate and local environment. What this tends to look like is the way that you think changes. The voice becomes restless and alive in a way that it has never had before. And conversations are going to start opening doors that forward momentum alone could never do. The research that maps into this just perfectly, I think, is Adam Grant's work on rethinking. So Grant is an organizational psychologist whose 2021 book, Think Again, built on decades of research into intellectual flexibility, specifically the willingness to kind of update beliefs. His central argument is that the ability to rethink is one of the most undervalued human capacities that we have. The people who actually can cultivate that, who treat their beliefs as kind of a working hypothesis, navigate change with a fluidity that most people never have access to. For Aries risings, who are Mars ruled, built for forward movement and certainty, Uranus in the third house is installing exactly this quality. The forward charge isn't being taken away, it is being upgraded with something that can hold complexity and quickly be updated when needed. That is the mind Uranus is building in your third house for the next 7 years. Here's where I want to be honest with you, because Aries risings are carrying something significant right now that has nothing really to do with the Uranus and Gemini. So Saturn is in Aries right now, so that's in your first house, your body and your identity, right? The most immediate parts of how you exist in this world. Saturn in Aries is in its fall, his single most challenged position in the entire zodiac. So Aries is the sign that Mars rules, and Mars is the planet that charges forward. Saturn is the one that stops you at the gate and asks you to account for yourself. When Saturn occupies Mars's sign, that friction runs through everything in your life. And for Aries risings, it's running through the most personal house in your entire chart. So what this tends to feel like is that drive that defines you gets met with resistance at every single turn, and the body carries more weight than usual. So there's a seriousness over the identity that sits differently than the natural kind of Aries energy. Progress feels slower than it should, and those usual tricks that you have up your sleeve just stop working. That is Saturn in its fall in your first house. Neptune is also in Aries, and that's obviously also in your first house. Neptune's quality is the opposite of Saturn, where Saturn restricts and kind of structures your life, Neptune dissolves. In Aries, Neptune dissolves the edges of that warrior identity. The certainty of who you are becomes fluid in a way that Aries risings have honestly probably never experienced. Who am I when I'm not moving? What do I actually want when I strip away what I think I should want in this world? These are Neptune's questions, and Neptune is asking them while Saturn is also reconstructing the foundation. So for Aries risings right now, both things are true. The identity is being held back and rebuilt by Saturn, and the identity is being dissolved and spiritually softened by Neptune. The drive forward, the most defining quality of an Aries rising, is being met with those two directions at once. And this is not nothing. This is a big, big deal. Here's what both transits are trying to build together at the same time. Saturn is not interested in erasing you. He is building something in your identity that holds up under real pressure. And Neptune is not dissolving you without purpose. She is just removing whatever was out of performance and leaving the actual truth underneath. What Uranus in the third house gives you over the next 7 years is a voice that belongs to that rebuild. Just a more honest version of yourself. That voice of yours is going to be going through something. It knows what it knows, and it is going to be very, very difficult by the end of this 7 years to silence. The practice for this cycle involves the voice directly. In Sicilian folk magic, spoken words carried weight into the material world. So any spoken intention, the tradition understands that the language is the action. Saying a thing out loud is a different act from just thinking it. So just find a moment alone in your own space, write down what your voice has been kind of holding back, what it knows but it hasn't said yet, one truth, maybe two at max, and be very, very specific. Things that are ready to be said but haven't found their moment yet, and then speak them out loud into the air to whatever is in the room that is listening. And that is it. Just start to really use your voice. The next 7 years are going to be really, really powerful for you if you can find the courage to use your voice.